The most dangerous thing beyond these gates may not be the goblins, but what they know. Their outer guard lies dead behind us, and I have no way of knowing whether word of that fight has reached those within. I have strengthened our company as best I can, and called upon knowledge before taking another step. Before we crossed the gates, I put everything we had gathered to use. Fangs, herbs, salts, and essences became elixirs, medicine, and oils for the weapons. The strongest of them I set aside for Asterion. We could not know what waited within, but we would not meet it unprepared. Somewhere ahead may lie Halsin, and perhaps answers we have been searching for. But we will not find them by turning an entire camp against us. So we go forward with a simple purpose. Observe first. Speak where we can, and draw steel only when wisdom fails.
Be wary. This place is trapped.
Be careful. There are traps about.
We had barely crossed the threshold, and already the ground was warning us to tread carefully. I found the first trap. Asterion found the second. A small reminder that in a place such as this, seeing one danger does not mean you have seen them all. This opening reminded me of the great chasm beneath the blighted village, where we fought the spider matriarch. I still know too little about such places to trust what may lie below. I carry a draft that may one day let me test one safely, but this was not yet the place to spend it. Ahead, the camp was very much alive. That changed the problem entirely. A living enemy may know something a dead one never will, but every hostile face we left behind could one day become another blade at our back. For now, I would listen before deciding which danger mattered more.
Tribe? Tribe!
Not tribe.
Tribe! Looking at a future true soul, you are. Boss Ragslin says I'm next in line.
And the Knoll gnawed her arm clean off. So much for the flaming fist, eh?
You saw a flaming fist? Where?
You ain't here? We sacked Joaquin's Rest and left it to burn. Drow flinging magic, Knoll snapping off heads. Inn's nothing but a pile of ash by now. Glorious.
Were there any survivors?
Bunch of prisoners got towed to Moonrise. City snobs mostly. But the Flaming Fist? Pile of smoking corpses.
Do you happen to know the way to Moonrise?
You ain't know the broken road? Nah. I'll tell you real slow like, so you don't miss it. North.
I walked away from them with no easy answer. What they had told me left little doubt about the company they kept, or the cruelty they were capable of. Yet, at that moment, they had not raised a hand against us. Compassion counseled restraint, but duty asked a harder question. If we left armed enemies behind us now, would we meet them again when we could least afford it? By the time I rejoined the others, my decision was made. We could not press farther into hostile ground while leaving a threat at our back. If we were to act, it had to be swift, quiet, and final. No alarm, no chance for reinforcements, and no battle greater than the one before us.
Picked a fight. The consequences are hardly surprising.
The plan was holding. Two had fallen, and still no warning had passed beyond that table. For the moment, silence remained our strongest ally. I was satisfied with the result. The threat at our back was gone. The camp remained unaware, and our position was stronger than before. Satisfaction is not the same as pride, but I would not pretend the choice had been without purpose. Their stores held food and drink we badly needed, and for now, that small advantage might keep us alive.
Something.
Hear my voice. Obey my command.
The voice is irresistible. You recognize the overwhelming authority that you've used on others, only infinitely stronger. Your vision clouds, leaving you in a dark, featureless shadowscape. Nothingness in every direction. Then there are 3 figures before you. An armored male elf exuding power and command. A handsome younger man with a quick, easy smile. And a pale young woman with even paler eyes.
These are my chosen. They speak for me. Aid their search for the weapon, and you will be worthy to stand beside them in my presence.
The visions fade and the voice falters as a strange energy swells around you. The many-sided artifact. Somehow you understand it's repelling the presence.
My power grows. My forces gather. The reckoning draws near.
The voice is quelled. The artifact's doing.
That voice. Those visions. What just happened?
No answer presents itself. The artifact is dormant. The voice and visions are gone.
The voice found all 4 of us at once. It spoke of 3 chosen, and seemed to offer us a place among them, if only we would listen, obey, and bend the knee. Then the artifact Shadowheart carried drove it back, and the vision released us as suddenly as it had begun. I understood none of it, but I could no longer believe this camp was ruled by goblins alone. Beneath the hillside, I found a small flask of holy water. I had not come across its like before, but after the voice that had just reached into our minds, I was glad to keep something consecrated close at hand. Another road opened before us, a pass leading away from the camp. But curiosity is a poor master when duty has already chosen the road. Halsin was still somewhere ahead, and with him perhaps our best hope of understanding the creatures in our heads. The Nightsong, too, remained unfound. So I turned back. There would be time for other roads, if we survived this one. The outer ground was behind us now, and the camp itself lay across the bridge. I left the others a short distance back and went forward alone. 4 pairs of boots draw more eyes than one, and I wanted to see what waited ahead before committing the whole company. If I found trouble, they were close enough to answer. The bridge led toward the voices ahead, but the waterfall held my attention. At first, it was only the beauty of it, a strange calm beside such a hostile place. Yet the longer I watched, the less certain I became that the stone behind it was empty. Then I found the crack in the wall, narrow but climbable. The bridge was the obvious road, but perhaps not the only one. The closer I approached, the more certain I became that these walls were not the work of goblins. Other hands had raised this place, carved its stone, and given beauty to a passage that might otherwise have been forgotten. Its present occupants had added nothing but spikes, blood, and crude marks of ownership. There is a particular cowardice in destroying what one could never have created. When a people begin to erase what stood before them, they do not make themselves greater. They only make the world smaller. Lae'zel had seen him first. The prisoner was Volo, the traveler I had met at the Emerald Grove. He had been free then, full of questions and grand declarations. Now he stood before a goblin crowd, singing as though the next verse might purchase another breath. That settled one matter. I would not leave him here if I could prevent it. But the hall was crowded, far too many for four of us to challenge openly. Before I chose a battle, I needed names, numbers, and some understanding of how this place was ruled. Halsin remained my first duty. The Nightsong another purpose. And every conversation ahead might bring us closer to one or both.
You look like you got something jingling in your pocket. Looking to spend it?
You never know. Let me see what you have. The first surprise within the camp was a trader. Grat carried armor and a hammer I would gladly have taken with me. But both stood far beyond the coin in my purse. For now, I sold what we could spare, lightened our burden, and kept what gold remained. I will admit that a darker thought followed. If this camp turned against us, such treasures might later lie unclaimed. But desire is not judgment, and wanting what another possesses can never be reason enough to draw steel.
Get moving. I've got other customers.
Back off!
Goblin kind will tease you and throat you and redden. His name is Dwarf, and his voice absolute.
Wish he was screaming rather than singing.
trust.
Drink's going straight through me.
Take it easy, or you'll regret it in the morning.
Don't be soft. We looted an entire inn. Brought back enough booze to drown a dragon. Here's to them we nicked it off. Down one mug of ale for every throat we cut.
Bloody arm is killing me. Here's to the best sedative there is. Booze.
Grab a drink before you see the priestess, Mucker. The branding stinks something proper.
You let her burn you? Why?
Mark of the Absolute, innit? Shows our devotion to her. Makes it easier to decide who we kill and who we don't, too. So best get a move on, eh?
Dawning with goblins and trust.
Here's to the Absolute.
Most of those I questioned had given me little beyond boasts and cruelty. Gurk was different. He spoke of a priestess and of something called the Mark of the Absolute. At last, a thread worth following. This camp was not merely a gathering of goblins. Someone within these walls held authority over them, and I intended to learn who. With each conversation, it became harder to imagine leaving this place as we had found it.
Enjoying the view. Looking tasty in these new breeches, ain't I?
Tasty's not the word. Gruesome, maybe.
Are you kidding? I look fantastic. Maybe they're a bit loose. But that's because I keep myself in shape. Not like that chunky dwarf I nicked them off.
And how'd you manage to catch a dwarf?
Daft bastard came to us, and I'd been praying for a square meal.
Yeah? What happened to the rest of him?
That's him, on the spit. Plenty of him to go around once he's cooked.
And do you make a habit of eating dwarves?
It's good meat, if you can get it. Better than bloody chicken, anyhow. Shame he was as poor as a chicken. Nothing in his pants except a couple of coins and some lousy poem.
I love poetry. Can I see?
Sure you can. But a look's all you're getting. For all I know, this little roaster was some famous bard. And you'll be sending his last words for a pretty penny.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Haven't you heard? You're wasting your time. Dwarven poetry is worthless.
Really? Oh, shite! You might as well use it as bog roll then. I'll get back to tending the meat.
We're still just a pig. Don't feel like messing with it is all.
Claga's jest had first left me with a grim suspicion, but the verse he showed me gave that suspicion weight. Eridine had spoken of Brian, the dwarf who carried the map to the Nightsong. Now a dwarf lay dead within this camp, and a poem spoke of a door beneath the temple, sealed in the holy light a saloon. Someone had scrawled a second clue in the margin. The moons turn, and their phases may open the way. I could not yet prove that this dwarf was Brian, or that the door led to the Nightsong. But at last, the trail had become more than rumor.
Meat ain't ready yet. Dwarves take an age to roast.
And where did you find a dwarf?
He found us. Don't know what he was doing here or where he came from. Lads inside are trying to get answers out of one of his mates.
Hey. Was one of his mates a druid?
Nah, druids are all beardy and woodsy, ain't they? This lot were a scabby gang of tomb robbers. Had a big old war bear with them, though. Took 5 of our meanest lashes to chain it up. We'll beat the fight out of it and make it one of our own.
I can get you answers. Where's the prisoner?
Enjoy poking holes in people, do ya? He's inside. Keep to the right and follow the screams.
Greca gave me more than I had expected. The dwarf had not come alone. His companions were still alive somewhere within the temple. He called them thieves and grave robbers, but I had learned not to mistake a goblin's contempt for truth. More curious still, they had brought a ferocious bear with them, one that had killed several of his kin before being taken. Then came the direction I needed. Keep to the right and follow the screams. Each answer made the path a little clearer, and what waited at its end a little darker.
No go inside. Inside boring.
Well, the ogre tried to turn me aside with a poorly told lie, claiming there was nothing beyond the door worth seeing. I had faced his kind before, and one ogre alone did not trouble me greatly. But an ogre fighting beside an entire camp of goblins was another matter. If this place turned against us, I would have to account for more than numbers. I would have to consider what those numbers could unleash together.
I ain't paid to talk. Keep walking.
The bugbear's words troubled me more than his size. He was not here by chance, nor out of loyalty. He had been paid. I had faced one of his kind before, and knew better than to dismiss its strength. This was no longer a camp of goblins alone. Someone had gathered ogres, bugbears, warlocks, and common raiders into a single force. Whoever commanded them possessed coin, purpose, and the means to bring many kinds of violence under one banner.
What are you staring at? You think I'm small? You're just a freak. Shh.
You should listen to Crusher. He's just... he can do anything.
You gotta listen to Crusher. He gets mad if you don't. Mad!
Thrust his arm with me bare hands. Weaker than pixies, humans.
Oh, you got him good.
And who are you? A half-elf, thinking you rule the world.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Whoa, a lot of assumptions here. I don't think I'm better than anyone else.
Everyone says that. And then they spit in our faces. But no more. Things are changing. We got the Absolute on our side now. You better learn your place. Go on. Kiss my foot. Or I'll wipe that nasty look right off your pretty face.
I'll tell you what. How about you kiss my feet instead?
Ugh. Look, mate, just piss off. You're not welcome here.
Let me think about that for a moment. Oh, he had demanded submission and received defiance instead. I could have pressed him further, broken his pride before the whole camp, and perhaps taken some pleasure in it. But an oath is tested as much by the power one refuses to use as by the power one commands. I had answered the insult. That was enough. To humiliate him further would have fed my pride and risked a battle before I was ready to fight it. So I left him with his dignity wounded and our purpose still unbroken.
Step carefully. There's a trap.
Now from the higher ground, the camp revealed more of its shape. But a wider view does not always mean a safer road. The skeleton appeared harmless enough, until I called upon guidance and saw what had been hidden beside it. This camp had already taught me that the first trap discovered may not be the only one waiting. I called Asterion forward before touching anything.
Be careful. There are traps about.
Asterion found what I had missed. A second trap set beside the first. Only then did their placement make sense. Tucked into the corner beyond them, someone had hidden a chest. Whatever it held, they had gone to some trouble to keep it untouched.
Traps? How considerate.
The chest held a shield, not one I would exchange for my own, but far better than the plain defense Shadowheart carried. Its enchantment might offer her strength when she needed it most. The traps had guarded something useful after all. The rock bridge seemed to lead only to a closed patch of woodland, and for a moment I nearly turned back. Our purpose still lay within the camp, but the detour was small, and the skeleton among the stones rewarded it handsomely. 181 gold pieces lay beside the remains, more coin than I had ever found abandoned in one place. Yet the gold was not the only prize. There was bark suited to a protective elixir, the finger of a hill giant, and a strange sylvan stone. Each could be refined into something useful: strength, protection, or an oil capable of diminishing an enemy. What had first appeared to be an empty corner of the woods had proved to be one of our richest discoveries.
Looks like the booze got the better of them. They're practically unconscious. No hope of clearing this without a shovel.
The mound should have been an easy prize, had I not sold our only shovel to Grat with the rest of the wares. A small foolishness, and one I would have to correct. Then fortune offered something far more valuable than buried coin. Above the camp, 3 guards lay sleeping. A goblin sentry and 2 bugbears, isolated, unaware, and far from help. I had spent the day learning how this place was held together. Now I had found the first place it might be pulled apart.